Okay, here's a bit of fun. Here's something for different. Is my rat on? I think it's on. This is what I eat. So I cook all the time to back up the training. So I'll show you quickly just what I cook, at least twice a week. It lasts me for 3 days, and it's good. I can go straight to the fridge, get what I want, chuck it in the microwave, fresh, plenty of meat. I know what I'm getting, especially when I'm tired. I don't have to go out walkie. So I've chopped all this up already, and I was going to show you, but what I do is I go to the market. I go to the local market, Buckmeown Market here in Danang, and I get my beef, whether it's ox, I don't know, off the hook. It's hanging off the hook in the heat. I've been doing that for over a year, and I've never got crook. So, and I slice it up thinly. You cannot steak, big cut this type of beef here. It's too tough. So I slice it up really thin, into thin little slices here. And I'll cook this down, all thin little slices, like little coins. And I'll cook this down, I'll fry it up, I'll pour it off a bit, and I'm going to cut up my vegetables now, so I'll get that heated up a bit while I'm doing that. Now here, I've got beef, and I've got a half a kilo of beef in there, and I've got a half a kilo of bacon for flavour and different fat. And there's bloody nice actually. So I've got these little dog's cocks here, these little gherkiny things. I'm not sure what they are. And now I haven't managed to cut my fingers off yet, but I've nicked them a few times. I brought this chopper here in Hoi An. I brought this about 10 months ago, and it sharpens up good. It's only a shitty one, but I keep it sharp. So I've had a few people ask me what I eat and how I eat, and this is what I eat. And this is how I eat. Now, fresh beans, and I nick all the ends off them. So I line them all up there. I've always cooked like this, and everything essentially ends up going into the fry pan. Just as a big stew, as a big gumbo in the end. Now I'll try and do this as quick as I can for you, because again, I don't doubt it's fairly boring, but essentially I will eat what I cook 6 days a week. And it's got nothing to do about economising or anything. I spare no expense with what I eat here. Now I've washed everything off. It's got nothing to do with economising or cost of living as far as the food goes. It's about being smart. And it serves a couple of main purposes, three purposes is why I cook. Now one of them is that It keeps me positive in attitude, with purpose, looking after myself. Everything is becoming too convenient, too easy. People are ordering in, it's all the time, over and above even going to local restaurants and sit-downs, which are really good. I make an effort. I maintain a job, and it's the job of living and looking after myself. So the first thing is, it gives me structure in the day. I know that I have to do it, I know when I have to do it, and I prepare for it. So I go to the market, that gives me something to do. It is something to do. I'm talking to people there that I know. I got deals going there with the aunties who give me a good deal, good price. So it gives me structure in the day. And it ties things together. The second thing is, I know what I'm getting to eat. I know what I'm getting. And that's important. Now, I won't go into the ground that it's grown in, the fertilizers or the sprays, because I don't know what they are, and I'm sure there's some things that aren't good for me. So a guy told me years ago, he said, wash what you can and peel the rest. Now, this guy was big in the gym industry, and he knew his stuff. Just trying to think of his surname, Mark, shout out to Mark. Now, in New Zealand, he held the record for age group for single ski, one ski across Lake Taupo. He also held the record for a while in age group coast to coast, if some of you know what that means. That is a rugged deal. That's real shit, the coast to coast race. So he knew his business. And he said to me, as far as pesticides, insecticides, sprays, fruits and vegetables, there was a simple rule. You peel what you can, and what you can't peel, you wash. And that was in order just to get any residues on the outside of your fruits or vegetables. Made sense to me, and I've done it ever since. So I'm chucking some bell peppers, as they're called here, or capsicums as they're called, same thing, in. And I purposely went to the, I've only got one element here. Now, I could have brought a portable electric element to have two pots going, but that would mean I'd either have to give it away or sell it or muck around, and again, it was, for me, my travelling gig. Just don't buy anything you're not prepared to walk away from. So I make do with the one element. So I went to a local big supermarket, and I brought this fry pan, which is fairly high-sided. You can see it's fairly deep, and I get enough in that. Once it's all going. So there's a tip for you that I'm sure most of you know. Wash what you can and peel the rest. And I've got some good sounds going on in the background. I don't know who remembers Jose Feliciano, a electric guitar player, classical guitar player, blind, absolutely brilliant. His day, his popular times was before me. I'm plus 21 now, but his age group was before my generation even. But good sounds, good music's generational gap. There's no it comes and goes in a time. Take Santana with that album he put out, Smooth. He was off the charts for a while, and then he put that out in collaboration with the guy that sung that song, Smooth, while he played, and that put him back up on the map again. The man's had a 50-year career. He was at Woodstock. 55, 60-year career, and he's still going strong. He's one of my favourites. Him and Gary Moore are my favourites, because the emotion that they get off the strings, I'm all about that. And my nephew, who's got my Les Paul, he's going to play me a Santana track one day, and I look forward to that. And I know he's listening to me right now, so I got you, mate. You're on record as having to learn something. I had a Les Paul, a Gibson AAA Lemon Burst, brand new, and an orange amp, English orange amp that I gave him. Now I couldn't play it. I brought that guitar to from an artistic perspective to make noise, make sound that only a electric guitar could give me. When I was evolving more and more as an artist, as a fine artist, and I went from painting to 3D, to sculpture 3D, to poetry, to on again to sound as a form of expression. Those days I've walked away from, because it's a new gig now. Anyway, we're getting there. I'm going to pour this off now. In fact, I enjoy going to the market. There's some people there that I've got to know. Now, you're not going to do that by ordering in, and so it's a little trip out. It might take me an hour all up by the time I leave and get back. So there's the upside of simply going and getting food to cook, is that I go to see people I've got to know. Now, I'm not going to say they're friends, they're just people I've got to know. And they have a laugh. We all have a laugh. There's an older lady, she's got to be 70 plus, who controls one of many parking bays undercover, and this is all over Vietnam. Is that you will park your motorbike, be it outside a bank or a restaurant, and there'll always be a guard or someone there to take care of that bike, park it, and get it for you, retrieve it for you. Now, in the likes of the banks and the shops, they're paid by the establishments. But with regard to the market here, whether they rent the ground space or not, and pay a fee to the leaseholder of the market or the big boss, I don't know. But I go in there and I park my bike in the shade while I walk around, and it costs me 2,000 dong. 2,000 dong, and I'm keeping an eye on it. And sometimes I come back to this is bicycle. You've seen my bicycle. I'll come back and I'll put my vegetables in it, in those little carriers I've got, and I'll go away again. No, it doesn't get pinched. It's not to say pinching doesn't go on, but nothing gets pinched. And I've got to know them there now. So 2,000 dong, you know, there's 25,000 dong, give or take, in $1 and 2,000 to park the bike, 5,000 I think for a motorbike. So you'll get what I'm doing here. You'll see what I'm about here in a minute. And I'm lucky I haven't cut myself while I'm yapping, because I can do that. I bloody did it yesterday, but it was with a tape. I had a metal tape, and I was trying to measure around my chest, and the bloody side of the tape, that thin metal tape, snagged me, cut me in the thumb. And I got bloody antibacterial, you know, stuff you put on for cuts and whatnot. So I whacked that on immediately. There's a few stall owners I've got to know at the market. I brought my clothes, some clothes there. Nothing I'm wearing at the moment. These here I brought with me, and these here, this here, I got 3 of these from Hoi An, and so these are nearly a year old now, and they cost me 100 dong, and not in Old Town. They'll ask 250 dong for these. I go around, I ride around to other shops. Now I'm just going to lightly fry this because it's almost like cured ham, and I'm wondering if it, in part, it is. So I've got tomatoes here. I just cut them up, man. I don't buy anything out of a tin, for several reasons, but why would you? It's fresh. And that's another thing. They do have sort of chain. Moon Milk is a shop here that is a go-to for all of the foreigners. It's convenient again that, you know, they have all the meats and stuff on the shelf. But I've talked to a few people, and this trend of ordering online and paying, swiping and pay, I watch it go down. And you know, I wonder if there's not some form of psychological shift going on as to people's engagement, psychosocial engagement with the environment around them on that level, where people aren't talking and communicating that I see on a transactional level. You know, you may say, why should you? Well, everyone used to. It was all information as to, you know, discussing how to learn about product and what you wanted. Ronnie Barker, open all hours. But yeah, I watch it go down, this contemporary way of transacting business, of the whole eating thing, the whole ordering in thing, online stuff. Now that's good for the companies. I may even have some stocks in some, I'm not sure, you know, through one parent company through another. But you don't know what you're getting, you don't know what it's cooked in, to be extreme. It looks nice on the picture. The motorbike comes, it drops it off. And even in this building here, I see people from, let's say, that middle northern European area that need to get away from there. They rush out, they open the door, they get their delivery, and they rush back into their air-conditioned room again. And this ain't a critique. This is just my interpretation of the world I live in and what's around me. And I'm just wondering what that'll lead to socially. Now, what we have seen over the years is how big business has taken over little business. Corner shops have gone, little shops have gone, big supermarkets, big warehouses, big tool warehouses, you know, the warehouse tool barns. You go in and you buy everything from paper towels to lawnmowers, you know, chainsaws to umbrella stands, you know, insect oil, and it's knocking all the little guys out. And that's sort of where this delivery starts to come in on that level as well. And I touched on it before. It's the convenience thing. But doesn't convenience come at a cost that you're unaware of? Your engagement, the practical function. People don't even know how to cook anymore. I've talked to them here. They say, why? Why would you bother when it's cheaper? Not the point. Why would you bother? I'm having fun here. I'm enjoying this. I've got Beth Hart on the background there. She's got a magnificent lead guitar player in her group. Wicked. He plays the Les Paul. And why would you cook, they say? Even these older guys are saying, oh, why would you cook? But these older guys are like this. Fucking guts out here. I say, that's why, mate. Because you're lazy. No, I said, you're fucking lazy. Simple. So I just pour all this in here now. All my green. I hope you can see that. I'll prop that camera up a bit more so that you can. There you go, you should be able to see that. Now here's my 20 litre of water container with a little tap on it there, you see. I keep I replace that. I just swap it across the road here. And that's 45 dong a swap. Couple of bucks US for 20 litres, and I go through it. Now that's what I fill my little bottles up when I go riding with my electrolytes. So I'm just pouring all this cooked meat in here now. And going to mix it all up. Now before I've talked about 3 forms of health, so let's bring it up right here. Because this covers 2 forms of health here, and it's not just the eating. So the 3 forms of health that I go on about, and I have discussions with people about, are physical health, mental health, and financial health. You take care of those, you take care of business. You take care of those 3, get those 3 working for you, you own your life. Now one of them you can take care of and put to bed, like financial health. Take care of that, get that sorted, get your income stream sorted, know that you can predictable and reliable. You don't have to do much more about them. You just get you get those kicking, and you just you track them. Now that might be your pensions, but I'm talking about investments in order to give you income. That aside, the other 2, the physical health and the mental health. Well, can't beat this one. Gary Moore, Still in Love with You. Shame that he died. I eat for the obvious reason, to stay alive, but for my physical effort I put in. So there we go, we're all jacked up now. This is all full up. Now I'll turn that down to simmer a bit and slow cook. So I eat to back up the physical effort to reinforce my physical health through my training, physical effort. And the other part of cooking is for, while it's an overused term, I can't think of another one in this case, but mental health, mental well-being, mental stability is best as. And believe me, I'm not always stable. And I say that to make fun of myself and enjoy my life. And so the act of cooking, the act of going to the market, the act of engaging with the people, of riding there or walking and coming back again, with my 2 big bags, I do that as a form of discipline to make myself do it because it's good for this. And you see, doing the act of doing something, the act itself is only a result of the decision you make. And it's the decision to go to the gym, the decision to train, or the decision to go to the market and cook is where the value is. It's that decision to do it that gives you strength and confidence with regard to feeling down or low or depressed and things like that. So the discipline, the act of doing it, is where the value is, and feeling good about myself, knowing that I've done it, knowing that I can do it. And giving that up, giving that away, and just doing all the order shit online and takeaway and all of that, I think is not healthy for you up here. And I've enjoyed doing this for a long time. It's never a problem for me. The only time it's a problem is when I'm really buggered, really tired, which I do get, and I run out. And then I get a bit off balance, and that's when I'll go and somewhere to eat, and then I'll go back to the market that day. So that's the 2 forms of health that mainly revolve around why I cook. I get what I want, reinforces my training. I know it's better for me from one end to the other. I know that. And it serves as meaning and purpose. And even if I don't do anything much that day, I've taken positive action to do this. And I feel good about myself for doing that. And that's why I thought I'd record this, to show you what I do to eat, and partly what's behind why I do it, and not just in the eating, but it's the process, but it's the reinforcement that I hope I've put across to you on that one as to why. It's more than just this is it's hot chili sauce. It's hot chili sauce. And I'm going to put a third of a litre in that. And I'm just going to let that cook down like a big gumbo. So some water out of my 20 litre here, just to wash this out. Careful not to splash it on me and stain. Don't want to waste any. Pour that in there. So there's all my vitamins. I mean, not all of them, but a good amount. Bags here, rubbish, they just go out to a bin out on the road there. So I'm never keeping rubbish in here. We're rolling for 29 minutes, so that's a half an hour vid there. That's it. That's what I do. The other thing is that I'll put in, I've got red onions here. So I'm going to put 2 red onions in as well. And I've got, not many. I must have dropped some. Potato for carb and sweet potato here. I really like these. Now these are better than white potato because they're a form of slow release energy, like oats, like porridge. Now these are good. And what they'll do here is they'll get smaller skinny ones and they'll steam them. And you'll see people sitting out on the street outside of their houses and whatnot, peeling these off and eating them. And they're good. So they're a good form of energy. And I'll cook those down. And I'll do the red tomatoes here. And I'll put them in. And that's it. So there you go. There's a quickie. Hey, can't beat a good quickie on what I eat and why and how. So, see ya. Now, how do I turn this off again? I always cock it up how to turn it off. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Okay.